should let Ian know I'm back. He'll probably rejoin. They'll probably rejoin. Fuck!
Oh, hey, hi, hello, welcome on in, where JJ drops the F-bomb 5 seconds in. We're back. Thank you guys so much for coming. Matt, take us away.
Absolutely. Well, we are here today to play episode 21 of We Run the Dungeon, a weekly show here on the JBrews, twitch.tv/JBrews podcast network. We will go ahead and do a round of introductions, who we will be playing, and then a short recap before we dive back into the story. I'm going to go counterclockwise based off of the Discord screen that is in front of me. So, Warren, take it away.
Hi, I'm Warren. I am playing Axel the Paladin. He has a longer name, but it's ridiculous, so he goes by Axel.
Thank you for sparing us the time. JJ.
Is it canon? Do we know your full name yet?
Sir Excellion Verasmus
come up a couple times,
I believe. Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay.
There's power in a name.
All right. Well, I'm Red. There is no last name. Not even really a first name. It's kind of like a pseudonym, really. And if you're wondering why are you not telling us your name, I don't know it. I was an orphan. I was found in a cave. Not a joke.
You have like a last name like the Game of Thrones people, like Red Sand.
Redstone.
Red of Cave.
That'd be pretty edgy.
Red of Cave.
No, Red Snow.
It just sounds like English is not my first language. That is Red of Cave. But no, I wield a big gun, but I'm small man. And I shoot quick, fast. And I'm now fighting to revive my homie. That is my sole mission. Save up enough money to pay the preacher to raise this man.
Perfect. All right, next up we have Donnie.
I'm Donnie. I'm playing Ira Bashamer, the Warforged Artificer Artillerist subclass. Was recently revived in some peculiar circumstances.
Yeah, you're less than a week old, technically.
Yeah, I guess, if you want to count from there.
All right. And then Travis, what it do?
I am Travis. I am playing Arturus, and my last name is hyphenated. First of its kind, some say. I also have a quarterstaff, but I've misplaced it. So if you see it laying around, it's simple, it's versatile. Just get it back to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then last but not least, we have JBrews playing Cormer, the almost a lizard folk, the kobold shadow sorcerer. Pretty much, the short, scaly thing. But no, the the little dragon kind, the kobold shadow sorcerer, hailing from Baldur's Gate. Last time we were with our adventurers, they had just came into an ancient elven stronghold found in the middle of the Cryptgarden Forest. This forest has been long abandoned after a feud between Gnawbones, Callum Scimitar, an ancient green dragon, and Witchthorn, a verdant prince of the Unseelie Court. Had some type of feud spat. Ever since then, the woods have been filled with nefarious fae and dangerous creatures that warded off all adventurers. It was your task to come find a druid that had been supplying handles for a local novelty drink or cup, if you will, to try to figure out kind of what happened to them as their shipments had stopped for the past few weeks. It turns out that was a bit of a can of worms, as you found yourself in the middle of some nefarious shenanigans from the Cult of the Dragon. After a lot of exploring some dwarven ruins, searching for the lair of an ancient green dragon, you came back, fought off Seer and the rest of the Cult of the Dragon, and then decided to go to the Elven Stronghold to finish the deal. Oh, big puppy. Sorry, I got distracted there. You guys started to infiltrate the stronghold to find it had already been abandoned. The Cult of the Dragon had killed other members of the cult for some reason and had teleported through a teleportation circle. As Coromir and Ira were Scooby-Dooing around the stronghold, trying to investigate what rooms are available, Arcturus, Axel, and Weird were in the main fest hall, searching around as Weird started to use their book to speak with one of the dead cult members. You guys found out that Seer was not truly part of the Cult of the Dragon. They had their own intentions. What they were, you're not entirely sure, but they were trying to gain power for some type of event that would align with this meteor that fell from the sky. You found that they were visited by a man cloaked in shadows who seemed to be actually calling the shots. They rounded up Seer and teleported them to what you know, somewhere outside of Baldur's Gate. That's all the dead cultists seem to know. Shortly after this one, Red had revisited or rejoined the party after dropping off the dead body of Eric at one of the local clerics in Amphale. After Red was dropped off, he made his way up to the front doors and opened up and triggered some type of trap or glyph. The glyph was broken, and the corpses of the dragon cult members arose once more. And it wasn't just normal, zombie raised dead. These seemed to be invigorated by whatever necromantic magic was pulsing through their veins. However, they still were not a match as you guys methodically picked through the bodies. As the last zombie fell and shots rang out, the scene is now calm, quiet. You guys are in the middle of the fest hall. The floor is yours.
How much square footage is this floor?
Let's see.
That's now yours. It's a pun. Move on, please.
So I've got a ruler right here if you want to know.
I need to know.
Oh, okay, fine. It's
for spellcasting purposes.
115 feet long by 55 feet wide.
I panicked, dude. I said a pun, and then nobody laughed, and then he started taking it serious, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear half of it, so I was just kind of playing off of whatever was going on. But no, zombies have been killed. No one else is twitching. What would you guys like to do in this moment?
And you said we already had searched through after the combat?
No. Combat has just ended. You kind of did a preliminary search. Mainly the top the top floor, the 3 rooms in there, the main bedroom, the observatory, as well as the meditation room. Those were kind of thoroughly searched. Everything else is just kind of glanced through. So Ira's got a general layout of this area.
There's an armory I remember peeking in on.
Yeah. I remember there's a astrology room as well.
I also realized the entire last session that I was here, I only spoke to Donnie. No one even knows I'm here yet.
Oh, I think we heard that you're here
now. They know now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they heard the big boom.
We heard.
Big booms. Lightning bolts were thrown.
Coromir is just confusedly staring at the spot where the hound was. Sort of surprised that it worked.
Hey, it worked. Your new magic happened to work.
The undead. Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah, that was kind of new.
So we all formed back up in a group, or we still split?
You are still. You're still kind of spread up through this main hall, but you're all in the same room, just in a big room.
Who's our magic person mostly? These people.
Almost everyone in the party besides you.
Everyone raises their hand.
I think we all are spellcasters of some capacity besides you.
Got it. So that was my fault, right?
As Cormier like looks up between their confused stupor. I think so. You came through that big door?
Yeah, the front door.
Yeah.
Did we not enter through the front door?
We did not. Remember, we went through the secret passage underneath the ground through the master bedroom. Obviously.
Gotcha. I will take blame. I will take that. But I'm gonna look at Donnie's character, which I should probably pull your names up.
Ira.
Ira Bashimer.
I'll look at Ira and be like, maybe a little warning next time.
About the front door, we hadn't checked that yet.
Yeah, that warning. Those words before the fight would have been great. Not saying it's your fault, taking blame here, but just saying. All right, let's go. So what are we doing? Donnie's old character's name.
Eric.
The very human name.
Very human.
Eric, it's spelled weird.
Oh, right. That's right.
Eric's back at the church.
Oh.
They told me they'll keep his body on ice. I currently don't have
They
funds.
have ice?
You know what I mean? They said they'll resurrect him, but I have to pay at least half first. When are we getting paid for this job?
We're getting paid?
Oh, we're getting paid for this?
Yeah. They didn't. It's like 50 gold or something.
How much is half of a resurrection?
250 gold.
So we're getting like a fifth of half.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, we did find like some stuff down in the ruins.
Okay. It's fine. I'll just get another job after we're done with this one. How much we got left?
Well, I think we have a trip to the Feywild that we're getting ready to do, pro bono, as it were.
Who knows how long that'll take?
There and back.
Minutes, seconds, weeks.
I guess that's a good question. How much do we know about the Feywild as far as
we did a check a while ago.
Time differential?
As far as time differential,
or the fact that there is one, I should say.
Anyone trained in
It's Arcana.
metaplanes? No, yeah, Arcana.
Hell yeah. So
I'm pretty sure we rolled this a long
I think
time
so
ago.
too, but I can't remember. I know I made a check for it,
Cormier, rolled something,
but I don't
about
remember
it.
what the number was.
I don't think they rolled anything about like time, or they got animation about time dilation. From Cormier's check, they knew that it was a separate plane of existence. However, it was one that kind of overlapped the material plane. So it wasn't completely separated from it. Anything that was in the Feywild or in the material plane would somewhat be mirrored in the Fey, and then Fey beings themselves are very fickle. Untrustworthy might be the best word. But if anyone wants to kind of roll specifically about time or about Feywild, if you're trained in Arcana, you're more than welcome to make a roll.
Can Travis roll with
rolled
advantage
19.
because of the fact he's sort of a time wizard?
You can get
I
a
got
plus
19.
2.
Hey, I got you, Travis.
Yeah, thanks. It's 11.
Sick.
Hopefully you can tell me.
Nice. 19. So Ira with the closest with 19. You don't know exactly how it works, depending on where you're at in the Feywild. Travel between, it does get messed up, but it goes back and forth. Sometimes it might actually be, a week's in the Feywild might be a few days in the material plane. Or it could also be the opposite. Sometimes a few days in the Feywild could be a few weeks in the material plane. So there is some type of dilation that happens, but you don't know specifically, how bad or how to manipulate it.
Yeah.
Does
So-
anyone tell that to Red?
Well, I just said not all that, but what I said before doing all the checks is what Iris said. Could be
So-
seconds, days, weeks.
Could be.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Fenkin wouldn't lead us astray. He's the one that wants us to go there, so we should listen to him.
Isn't this the same person who killed another member of your party, then was killed by a member of your party? This Fenkin?
That wasn't a great moment in time for Fenkin. They struggle with some inner demons, but overall, they're a good person, and I trust them. Yeah, I trust them.
And it's also connected to these ruins. It's got to be. And of course, cultists.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cultists are tied to this. I thought we said that they...
They went through a different portal that went to the
Oh, yeah, sorry.
other site. But
I think we kind of found out the cultists might be at around Baldur's Gate. That's where their kind of base of operations was, at least for Seer and their group. I don't know.
Right, I think the Feywild in this quest with Fenkin is a different origin. I don't think it has to deal with the Dragon
It's a side
Cult.
quest.
Yes, as it were. Unless this is the main quest and the Dragon Cult was the side quest.
Who's to know?
That's what... Ira, we
So we'll
may
have to do
have...
both.
Exactly. We have to do both just to be safe from all fronts. But as I do believe that the Feywild could be beneficial, but we also... I believe that, Fenkin may have been troubled by whatever their curse was. But I think something that we may need to contemplate is that if we do go to the Feywild, we may be tossing our opportunity at saving Baldur's Gate and possibly this plane from whatever was falling from the sky. We saw that extra dimensional being or whatever that we fought on the way here. Could have been from
You were there
that.
for that?
I heard, from the grapevine, that these things happened.
Yeah,
But we know that these...
Axel, didn't you get a letter or something?
Yeah.
I did get a letter that Baldur's Gate was okay.
Eric got it. But...
Eric read it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just concerned that there's overlap if something is falling from the sky, which we know from the Dragon Cult they saw as a sign. That who knows, there may be other sects of this cult that could also be awakening their projects that we would be possibly missing.
Yes, I suppose the world at large might be more of a priority than discovering the secrets of a Fey elven connected temple, castle. What perhaps was this building? So
Do we think
Counterpoint.
we can save the world from whatever's happening?
I don't know if we can save necessarily the world, but I think that we at least have some magic and some capabilities that could assist those who can.
what if more of those abilities can be unlocked through the secrets of this ruin out of
So-
place?
So travel to Baldur's Gate and find out who's doing what about these events and how we can help them. Is that what you're proposing?
I'm just saying it's an option, but if we go with this portal to the Feywild, it may pass us by. And the outcomes of what can occur and may occur will take place, and we will be coming back to that reality.
Is it possible that the time is going to go the opposite way and we'll come back earlier?
I don't think it goes backwards. I don't know much about how. I know that there is a difference in time, but I don't think it's negative in that capacity. I think it's always forward, or has a chance of being forward. But like Iris said, I don't know what it is or if it's even stagnant every time.
I think maybe our time wizard might more know about that. Is there a way that might work? We could go back in time.
Oh, I can go back in time a bit. But if we wanted to go truly back in time, we're talking about very powerful, dangerous magic. At least as I understand it. I can check my books if you'd like me to make a check.
Talk to me when I'm level 14.
I need more experience, it seems. Yeah, if you would like to make a Arcana check, go ahead and roll for it. We'll see
12.
if you can go back in time. Anything is possible if
Well,
if
I'm
you
here to
roll
tell
this
you
up.
folks, if you try hard and believe in yourself, everything's possible, okay? I can give it a whirl right now if you want.
I've never heard of a time wizard, Artoris. So that's a interesting school of magic. Some would
Yeah,
say
it's not-
made up.
Ooh.
Who said that?
I was under that breath.
Through
Through my voice.
Somebody. One of these kicking zombies. Like, do you fuckers say that? What's going on here?
And say only you can time travel. And
I don't know too much about it. My education isn't what you would call formal. So I don't know exactly what gets taught to folks here in this world, but I know a great deal about it.
Are
Working
you
on
telling
some
me
stuff,
our
but-
wizard, the magic professional in this group,
Whoa.
did not go to an accredited school? Where are you from?
kind of look up at my horn? Like, where do you think I'm from?
Oh, don't be so bigoted. There's tieflings everywhere.
Okay.
So
I'm
they'll have-
just
At least
having
he
a
went to
very
school.
hard time taking criticism from somebody that's not even in their own body.
Oh.
So,
Well, this is my body now.
And I hope.
right. Did you put yourself in that body? Was it magic? Did you cast a spell and put yourself in that body?
If you must know, I think it was fate to be, perhaps, or maybe a trip to trap in that ruin over yonder.
So our artificer
yeah, it wasn't
is
until
running
this,
around on faith.
Ooh.
I thought that was his job. I'll point to Axel.
Well, I don't run around in faith. How I
so
got into
it
this
wasn't fate.
automaton, who's to know? But fate, the wheels turn. I studied history, and there's a lot of stories that all end the same way. Is that fate?
Where did you study?
Where did I study?
Yeah.
BGU. Baldur's Gate University.
Oh, maybe you could take me there sometime. I could, I don't know, guest
Her-
lecture or something.
Yeah, I heard they have a good library.
The best.
Perhaps we should finish exploring here and perhaps putting these
I'm sorry, did you
bodies.
say they had a good library?
Yeah, like
What?
books and shit.
The stacks in the
How good?
East Wing. You should. Lots of history in those stacks.
Okay, no, I'd definitely like to go there.
Red is anxiously looking around the group as he realizes that he is the Hawkeye in this adventures.
Yeah, I was very adversarial until you mentioned books. Now I'm
The
like,
one that always has to like make it seem like you have magic powers, but they really don't.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because you just look it on paper, it's like mech
Human
suit that literally
magic
fights
effect.
armies, a god, a Hulk,
Human
dude who
with
likes
a
to shoot arrows
composite
from
bow.
time to time.
I respect it. Uh,
Red never even went to school.
I say that we do a once over on these bodies, make sure there's nothing of value that was left behind. And then if we are going to the Feywild, I think we should take that leap.
Oh yeah, if we're putting that to a vote, I vote no Feywild, maybe later.
Could be magical artifacts. I
I'm
had
hard-
a thought.
Hard Feywild. Oh,
The Feywild is a mirror of the physical plane. The throne room, or whatever you may want to call that room, would then theoretically have a Feywild mirror to it. Perhaps there is more to uncover if we enter that room from the Feywild. Like magic items?
yeah. I mean, it already seemed kind of magic-y out down there, but Feywild could just crank it up to 11. Can you imagine the
Valuable
bugs they
magic.
have? Oh,
What? No, I don't want to imagine the bugs they have, actually.
got
Well,
like
any
3 wings or something. I don't know.
Don't
What's
we
that
have
third wing
bugs?
doing?
Don't we have bugs here that have multiple wings, like 4 wings?
I don't know, but not 3
That's
wings.
an even number. That's
2 on the
nuts.
sides, 1 in the back to wing it forward. I don't know.
What's it winging?
Bugs?
I'm gonna start looking at these bodies.
Axel is helping as Cormier finishes looking. Axel is taking them outside to prepare them for, I guess, a funeral pyre. We probably don't have time to bury him.
well, speaking of funeral pyre,
Mm.
Ira, after this conversation, remembered what she was doing before. I'm like, oh yes, I think I found, not Dayroth.
Rogar?
Who's the Rogar? Right, I found Rogar's body, and Dayroth seemed to have been grieving outside. I should go check on them.
Louvre will pop her head around. What was that?
Mm.
There was a body of a druid. Is it a tiefling druid?
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. I brought it outside to Dayroth. Trying
Oh.
to make sure I got all these names right. Yeah.
I guess I'll see if he needs help with that. And then
Yes, I had to place the body down before we were scourged upon.
all right.
My condolences.
Louvre will go ahead and make her way outside. She actually catches Dayroth at the door, as he had heard the commotion, came up to check, but it was already said and done. But then they both head off. As you guys go ahead and loot the bodies, someone roll me a d6.
On it. One.
1. You end up finding 10 pieces of gold.
Holy.
Across all of the bodies
I'm
through in
rich.
here. If you want to add, 4 daggers, 2 short swords, there was nothing else really of note on the bodies. They seem to just be, standard cultist attire, all kind of following the direction of Seer in this room.
Okay.
There's also the armory, and I'll point in the direction.
Oh yeah. Any of the stairs that lead down out of this main fest hall will lead towards the armories. Just as a small recap, if you're on the Roll20 map, on the left-hand side over here, you have like a general kind of study area with tables and such. Up here above that, you have a library that has mainly been kind of rummaged ransacked through. However, there are still, a few tomes about. Down here, it seems to be more of an Arcanum area. Let me see. Let me get my official notes. Yes, the Arcanum, a space dedicated to the study and practice of magic, contains just different um, types of practice magics, some base runes, how to create spell scrolls, just kind of basic magical means. Uh,
Magic
over
items for dummies.
magic items for dummies, yeah. Magic items 101.
Sounds like an artificer book.
Over on the right hand side was just some just general quarters. Down here was a war room with a nice marble table, just some chairs, no maps or nothing laid out in the middle of that one. And then at the top of here, it looked like some type of either lecture hall or some type of, further studies, or who knows what it was, but just a whole bunch of chairs faced towards the front of the room. Downstairs, there were an armory that ran both sides of the building, a kind of holding room towards the back that had a few cells, and that's where Daroth was found, and then a kitchen down towards the front that had, multiple stove areas, some ways to get natural water to come up through there, and just any kitchen utensils that you might need can be found down there. But that's the general layout. Axel, as Cormier picks through these bodies, as soon as he's done with one of them, you'll go ahead and pick up the other one and start to drag it out towards the front door. You do see Daroth and Louvre standing next to a deceased dragonborn in the ground, as Daroth starts to murmur something similar to what you've heard Arturus speak before, and the earth next to Rogar starts to open up as that little burial plot seems to they seem to be molding the earth to create a burial for them. As they see you walking down with the body, I'll say we can make room elsewhere for those bodies, but I think we're gonna have a small ceremony here. If you want to say a prayer or something, you're more than welcome to, but no obligation.
Sure. I'm not one for really being public with my faith, but I will definitely say my own prayers for the fallen.
All right. You guys have a small ceremony for Rogar. From what they say, Rogar was a fierce fighter, a great companion, and anyone who knew them in life would be considered lucky. After you say your prayers, the ground is covered back up, and a little, almost like a little night blossom kind of blooms up from it. As the petals unfurl, you see the star-like patterns that kind of swirl about. Thank you for helping us move on, and just in general for helping us out with this situation we've been forced to deal with. It's usually not. I mean, it's dangerous in these woods, that's for sure. But it's a dragon. That's different. It's tough. I don't know what we'd do without you, so we owe you.
what anybody should do.
Not everyone's as kind-hearted as you seem to be. What where do you come from?
All over, to be honest. Got family up in Baldur's Gate, but right now traveling with this crew, and it's been a wild ride.
Oh, good. Well, I'm sorry that you ended up here, but I'm very glad that Criven sent you our way. If he would have sent someone less capable, it would have definitely been a death sentence. So, seems fate put you exactly where you need to be.
What are you going to do now?
Well, try to go back to what normal life we had. Now that Rogar's gone, Lufrey is going to have to pick up some of the slack. Maybe wield either her magic or whatever she has at her disposal to help keep this forest safe, keep it in check. We can't have shambling mounds or dire wolves start making their ways outside of this place, attacking whoever they can on the main road. The Emerald Enclave sent me here to keep the balance of nature. So I guess we'll continue to protect these lands as best we can. I'll send word and see if we can get some additional help now here, but I think that's it. What have you?
That's something we're discussing right now. We should probably get the rest of them, make that decision together.
Yeah. Oh, from what Lufrey has told me, you may have found a dragon's lair as well in the outside on the outskirts of the forest.
We'll get the rest of the team. I'm not super comfortable talking, saying the wrong thing. Arcturus.
Oh, no worries.
Sure.
All right. Well, if you'd like, we
Which one
can
of our faces?
join you soon.
Good at and comfortable are two different things.
Alrighty. Arcturus, Ira, and Red, were you three wanting to do anything while kind of all that was going on?
Quick little vibe check, I guess. Is this like, did we raid this place? Is this the bad guy's lair, or like, did we save so lootable?
This
I think it's
was
safe to be lootable.
Yeah, it is safe to loot as of right now. This was
Lootable and
the
apparently trapped.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can't get out. All right.
Trapped isn't like booby trapped, not like
Sorry, it's a
stuck
booty
trapped.
trap.
If the room is trapped, that's official consent to loot.
Yeah.
True. Also, just let everybody know, if you guys see anything you would be passing up on, but might still be expensive, let me know. I need to fund raising Eric. Thank you. Don't have to, but if you see something. I'm going to the armory. Yeah. Does somebody want to go? I'm scared. Somebody want to go with me?
I'll point you in the direction. I'll go with you. Ira's going to follow you up there, show you where it was on her way to the fountain.
Mhm.
And she's going to get some water and spark up a quick fire and make a pitcher of hot tea. And
Gotcha. Are you talking about the fountain that was in the meditation room or the large kind of like pools and fountains outside in the courtyard?
the meditation room.
Okay.
Yeah. That seemed secluded and definitely safe to drink. I tried it myself. Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, you're able to make your way upstairs, and you wanted to start a fire up in that room.
If it's safe, or just take it all outside. And
Uh,
when
there's a few braziers in there that you can safely light a fire in one of those. Just kind of borrow that room. But it isn't too long before everyone else in the main room and even Red down in the armory can start to smell this smell of smoke fill up the area. Red, go ahead and roll an investigation check as you're kind of going through this room. It goes the entire length of the stronghold, so there's probably in total maybe 20 or so beds on this side. What would probably be mirrored on the opposite side as well, from what you were told. Um, most of the beds do seem kind of recently slept in, since this is where the Cult of the Dragons were keeping places or keeping hold. Up on the walls, you do see racks of where weapons and armor would be held and stored, but it is pretty sparse. But there's still kind of a lot of mess and clutter around. You might be able to pick something up.
Could I convince you to let me use perception?
Perception, sure. Yeah.
All right. I didn't have to work that hard for that. All right, cool.
Yeah, you might not
Better-
find something as nice or intricate, but you could kind of get a general feel with perception. It's kind of like the main difference between the two if you ever want to do one versus the other.
Gotcha. It still would be better. I have a -1 investigation.
Nice.
So, 14 on the perception.
14
wait,
in perception.
Do I have a visual thing to that? I don't think I have a visual thing. Go ahead. Just stick with the 14.
No, you're fine. With a 14, you're able to find two main weapons of interest that might be of value. That seems to be some type of dragon glass halberd, or some type of
pause.
strong. It's not metal, whatever it is, almost translucent. But there are these long halberd weapons that do seem to be possibly, or at least from the architecture you see around here, seem to be of elven make, that were just kind of laying around. Might have been used once or twice. But that's probably the most expensive or notable item you're able to just see as just looking around over here. You can, if you want to pick up 5 short swords or whatever general armor, there's some nice leatherwork armors. You see some splint mail, I want to say, but yeah, nothing too crazy.
Anything in light armor that is better than leather?
Not down here. No, you were able to find.
10-4. How does the bag of holding situation look in this group?
Currently, you don't have one.
I can
Pretty rough.
make
Was-
one.
Wait, wasn't that chest like a chest of holding? No.
The chest, it wasn't
forgot
a
about
chest of holding, more or less, but it was a chest that could shrink down to the size of a
That's what it
small
was.
chest and then enlarge back up to normal.
Don't
size.
chests hold a lot?
Chests do hold quite a bit.
Does it change its bulk when it shrinks down?
That's a Starfinder term. It's very light.
Yeah, does it get lighter?
Yeah, it does get lighter
How
when you shrink it
shredded
down.
is it after you shrink it down? Is it?
How shredded is
Yeah.
it? No,
Is it
it's
like Ant-Man rules?
pretty dope.
No,
yeah.
who's
it
got
does
that?
really
Who's
do.
holding on to that?
I will walk in the room and
Yeah, but I
Do you wanna do
can,
this?
after a long rest, I can swap one of my magic items with a bag of holding.
Yes, you do have an artificer who can make
I'll
it.
just put it away. Okay then. I'll
If
classify
we-
the artificer
you know,
yet again, and I'll walk.
If
in.
we
What's
need,
that?
if we need something like that, I can make it happen.
You just make
Well,
it happen.
I don't like just looking at the weight and I can technically hold this. I like to think of logistically, so I'm already pretty awkwardly walking around with a big old boomstick on my back when I'm a halfling. So I feel like shoving 2 normal people-sized halberds on my back along with that, I wouldn't be moving all that well.
Well, you could drag it, and let everyone else if they want one.
Yes,
I also don't
every
know if a
step I'm
halberd would
moving
fit inside of
forward.
a chest, though.
Yeah, I gave dimensions of what that chest was when I said it, but I don't remember what it was. But I do think a halberd, being a two-handed heavy weapon, might not dimensionally fit into it.
All right.
Definitely something you could strap onto the side of your horses.
We have horses.
We had horses.
Yeah, you still got like 4 horses. But 1 horse died.
Arturus.
I can carry the halberds.
I thought about
Yeah.
taking a wizard dip for graviturgy since we have
Mm.
chronomancy and have the 2
Mm.
The
so
two
those
new
2
ones.
subclasses, and their level 2 ability is to make things weigh like half their weight or something.
That's amazing.
Wizard dip sounds like chew infused with
Got some
shrooms.
wizard dip.
Got some zen, just kind of.
Yeah.
Psychedelic zens.
Get up.
We call that
Make
wizard
the
dip.
dip of that Copenhagen. All I got is the wizard dip, brother.
Oh, I ain't ready for that wizard dip.
Yeah, they
Art-
they're all they're sorry. I'm not gonna go on that.
I was-
could have gone on all day.
I was gonna let it keep going. I was like, all right, so we'll go with this. I'm gonna go to Arturus and be like, yo, can you? You said in the past you could do like a bag of holding thing. Is that like, could you do that now, or is that like a tomorrow thing, later thing?
Oh, I think that was the robot.
That was
I
Ira.
like it.
Yeah.
Ira and Arturus on Twitch are switched.
Heck W.
Oh no.
Heck, lol.
Oh, we gotta start over.
Uh-oh.
All right, cut the whole
Hey,
stream.
hi, hello, welcome.
Nailed it.
I'm Ira. I'm
That well, you see why I was confused now because I
Whatever
double
you
checked.
need, baby.
Heard it here first.
All right, Ira.
Arturus is making Ira's dating profile official.
What I said a minute ago.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like a bag of holding?
Yeah, could you do that like now, or is
You want me
that
to
like a
sing?
you need time to prepare?
I'll need time to prepare. Call me in the morning.
Are we sleeping here or moving on?
We
We're
should
moving on.
wait. We should absolutely. Well, I mean, are we rested? Like, I'd rather sleep in a place where I know is safe versus sleeping in the Feywild if we're going to the Feywild.
Yeah,
We
it's
haven't
I'm
done
still-
anything
still
yet.
on Team Coreman on that with no Feywild.
Now, I
But
think
it's-
Feywild's good. Just not sleeping in the Feywild as much as we can is best.
It's like noon.
But
High noon.
I don't know. That scares me.
The druids were
How about a
asking
short
what our
rest?
plan was. Maybe we should talk to them. I didn't want to speak for us since we're obviously of.
I mean, are we feel like we are expended enough to need to take some rest to get stuff back, or do we feel like a sort of a sit here for a moment will be enough time?
I haven't expended anything, so even a
Yeah.
short rest wouldn't do me good.
In terms of health and utilities, Red's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if this place is like abandoned, it would be a cool place to like shack up. But I'm not, I'm still good to keep going.
Because
I figured
it
we could
is
at
like
least take a
noon,
short
right?
rest.
Yeah, it's probably like 11 a.m. at this point.
All right, so
I think
my
if you
options
rest-
are a chest.
Would you just want these halberds to
I
sell
think your
later?
best option right now is an axle.
Yeah,
that
Axel
what you
can just hold them. We can just kind of leave them here in a nice corner or something too until.
Yeah, we'll return. We'll return. These
Or-
druids won't mess with this metalwork.
I don't trust them or that theory at all. I'm just gonna snap the heads off and just sell the heads.
I can carry him.
I don't want to inhibit your combat ability, sir.
You won't be.
He's so
I
strong.
was planning on turning this into a sort of like a temporary base anyway.
I don't know if we want a temporary base in the middle of an enchanted forest.
Enchanted forest with friends. It's on the up and up. Real
I
estate.
mean, if anything, if we're surrounded by an enchanted forest, we're probably not getting invaded anytime soon.
Yeah. Unless you have like adventurers who don't really know how dangerous it is, and then they kind of stumble in.
Well, if
Yeah,
we make
that's
this a
fine.
base, we'd set up, not traps, but signals. We'd know they're coming.
Oh, I think my tea's boiling. It runs off.
He's already making tea.
I think the first thing we need to do is decide where we're going.
I'm a
Yeah.
company man, so wherever the team goes, I go. But I just want to put a vote out there. I say no, Feywild.
I say Feywild, but we should probably take a short rest before we go.
Ira comes back with a tray with 5 tea cups and said, "It's herbal tea from my special spice pouch."
This is
How about a
not mayonnaise
refresher?
flavored or based in any way, right?
It is flavored. It's flavored with herbs,
But not mayonnaise.
But not mayonnaise flavored.
Not mayonnaise. Herbals.
I'm in.
Green tea, if it counts as an herb, I think it should.
Is it spiked?
No.
I'm out.
Weird will
Caffeine.
reach into their pocket and pull out a little butterfly, and then just kind of like crush it and sprinkle it up into the tea.
Sure.
Well, sprinkles. Anybody else with sprinkles?
Yeah, I mean, I'm by all means, I've got plenty.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Weird. I would like to, however, take
Now
our
that you've all have my truth serum.
short rest. Can
What are those
I?
Feywild flowers I picked earlier?
Exactly.
Put those in there.
Depends which one.
The psychedelic ones.
Oh, the psychedelic ones. Alrighty, everybody.
I
roll
didn't wanna say it on
Constitution
stream.
So they
saving
were.
throw.
So it was spiked tea, is what you're telling me.
Did you use the spiked tea, Ira, or the special stuff, or no?
I want to, but it would be out of character. It would be too out of character.
There would be a Donnie choice, not an Ira choice.
Exactly.
That'd be a karma choice.
True. True.
Oops.
While we taking
you
this
guys like psychedelics.
short rest, am I able to convert spells or sorcery points into spell slots?
You can do that as a bonus action.
Cool. I want to do that before we take our short rest.
All right.
I'll send the last of my 3 spell slots to get my 3rd level spell back.
Does your inspiring leader do short rest?
I can. Let me see.
Should be what, 4 sorcery points, I think, to do a 3rd level spell slot. Because from the spell slots to points, it's a 1-to-1. So like 3 spell slots.
You can
equals 3
spend
points.
Oh, maybe I misread something else. I did. I misread. You can use your additional spell slots to sacrifice spell slot. Yep. Fonts of magic. It is. Oh, that scales so horribly. I will use 2 to get a 1st level spell back because it's 5 for a 3rd level.
Ooh.
And then for a 4th, it's 6th, and then like 8 for a 6th. I will go ahead and use 2 for a 1st level spell slot back.
Okay.
And then I will actually go ahead and drink my vial. I'll open up.
You need to drink your own blood, but you can definitely use your vial.
It says I have to drink it, and that's when I take a long rest and I have to refill it.
You gross. Oh wait, long rest to refill?
It's a long rest to like be able to use it again. So like I have to like
okay.
refill it on a long rest.
Bleed into it.
Right, exactly.
Don't
Gotcha.
flavor your magic items.
I'm not, sadly.
Just use it.
Just flavored with blood.
Exactly. You
You
flavoring
want me
tea?
to flavor it? I got
No, please.
a pinch of
Hey,
salt.
I
at least.
appreciate the RP.
So I went ahead and pop open the vial, drink it, so I get all my sorcerer points back, and then take a short rest.
I guess we're napping.
What about that inspiring leader? Is that
Sorry.
a short rest?
It's
then-
spend 10 minutes inspiring your companions, and I can each gain 10 temporary hit points once per short rest. So yeah, once we get finish up towards the tail end of our short rest, I would definitely use my inspiring leader feature to give everyone 10 temporary hit points before we kick off this adventure.
I took 0 damage last combat because that hit I took only did 10 damage.
You're so cool. But that's what
I think
I will
also
do
took 10
for my short rest.
And JJ, I think you get your superiority dice back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think Action Surge and second win back
I
as
didn't
well.
even. I didn't
Man.
use either of those two.
I'm just being a warlock and getting short rests, so that's.
Yeah,
Nice
same.
stuff back. Let me look
I can
up
do it, but it's very expensive.
Yeah, Weird will go ahead and play some music while you guys are resting too, so you can take an additional 1d6 if you're using any hit points to restore health, to add that to your total HP as well.
I guess for taking a whole hour to whip up a meal, I got the fire going. Use some more of
Temporary
my
hit points.
seasons.
Sorry. Temporary hit points, that doesn't heal you, right?
It does not heal you, no. It's like a little like extra health on top of your max health.
There's a little temporary hit points here. Okay, cool. And you said 6 health heal?
Sorry, 6 health or 6 health heal and then 10 temporary HP from inspiring.
And the
Leader.
famous words of Donnie, it takes 5 seconds to play by the rules. My item says whenever I spend a hit die to gain HP.
Yes.
So if I use a single hit die, but I can't gain HP, does that still count? Like if I'm not missing health, can I
Yeah, if
still
you
use
still
it,
wanna
but I can spend
spend-
a single hit dice to still gain that effect?
Yeah, I'll allow it because that's a once per, and then you can only use that once per long rest.
Actually can't be used until the next dawn.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What if there is no dawn where you're
What
going?
if we are on like third shift?
Right, exactly. That's what it's like. Right now, it's actually sort of bad to use it because like we still have all day, so we could take like another whole long rest. And it's like, well, I still don't have my item back, but I think it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'd say 5 sorcery points are worth it though.
But yeah, I agreed. So I just want to make sure I could expend the hit die and still do that.
Alrighty. All right. Well, you guys spend this time, Ira, cooking meals, giving you some more flavor now to supplement the tea from earlier. Red cleaning some guns, as well as Cormir drinking their own blood from the necklace that they've been wearing.
Yum.
Could I also request from Red 3 bullets? Ira, go
ahead
find
and
Red.
Go ahead and request it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see how
before we
this
get
plays out.
through this short rest.
It-
Red, was it? I couldn't help but notice your boomstick. At least that's what I think it should be called.
Stick of booming.
I guess I could look at Axel's weapon, but I don't think he'd be on board with what I might need to do. So, could I just have 3 or so of your bullets? I'd like to just experiment with them. It might help us down the road.
I want to see. Can I watch?
Oh, well, okay. So I have I've extracted some poison from a felled dragon. And I was going to see if maybe when the time comes, if I could apply the poison to your bullets.
I'm in. That sounds kind of sick.
Yeah, let me just hold on to these and
All right, those aren't cheap, by the way.
oh, they're
How
not. They look
many-
like stones.
How
I've
many
got
bullets?
1,000 of them right here.
No. So
Bag of bell bearings.
the lore that I put behind the gun, since I have the gunner feat and it's a musket, the thought of me being able to stick a whole ball and powder system in there within a matter of seconds during a turn. So
Not gonna
I
work.
basically just what?
Yeah, it's like no, that's it's inefficient. That almost wouldn't work.
You know
Yeah,
what you need is an artificer with the repeater infusion.
Well, I basically have a repeater, but it's like a very crappy repeater from a crappy artificer we found, kind of. But I still use muskets. It doesn't have a magazine. It's just I have to, every time I have to like slam this like. It's
Yeah.
basically a shotgun shell, kinda, but like caveman style that my old guy taught me how to make, and he's like, it's like everything you need in a musket in a tiny little package. And then
I can get an infusion, which would let me mechanically. You could ignore the ammunition property. The bullets magically appear into the weapon every time you fire. And it makes it a +1 magic weapon.
So the +1 magic weapon, cool. Everything else is kind of you're just fixing lore. I can
right
do
now-
all that anyways.
Except technically, right now you can't. You have to have a free handle loaded. That's, I think, and it doesn't.
Hey, it's a two-handed rifle for my small little body.
Yeah,
I already got two hands on it.
not a problem.
You get a third
Yeah, I
hand.
think and you can ignore the loading property, maybe, but not the ammunition is different. You still have to have a hand to load it.
Yeah.
But
With an artificer, I think you can actually dual wield hand crossbows.
hmm Or if in JJ's case, or if Red ever wants to pick up a
Oh,
shield
yeah.
and have like a pepper box or a pistol on the other hand, just to pop type stuff.
It
Anyway.
wouldn't have to be a big shield.
Doesn't have
Just
to.
get a small
Are you
buckler.
gonna be the one that I apply all my infusions to?
Yeah, I think so.
I am down for it. I mean,
Could deck
I'm
you
not
out.
opposed to a sidearm. Can
That
you
might
make
be
one of
pretty
those?
cool. I can't make the sidearm, no, but I can infuse a non-magical sidearm.
That's really too bad because I am way too poor to actually get one.
I think we all are.
I mean, you've seen what they briefly, because you were on that side of the battlefield. You did see them do something crazy with their arm. Like they had like a little wand or something. Then their arm kind of manipulated, folded out, and they stashed it in there. So yeah, it's possible they might be able to do some more crazy stuff.
Oh,
When-
the people that are still alive.
Ira, more or less.
Yeah, when Ira cast magic or a thorn whip at that target, it almost looked like it came from her wrist. A rod shot out, and the whip came out and pulled it towards me, 10 feet close.
Okay, well, how to use that projectile work?
It's a wand.
Magic.
Magic.
It's not an actual projectile. You're just shooting magic at it.
Yeah,
Magic can be a projectile, though.
it can be.
But how is that? Do you have to be holding it? Is that magic flowing through you, or is all that magic in that wand?
I have what's called an arcane firearm, and I've taken this wooden wand and etched these specific carvings that unlock the potential of the oak. And then this other contraption here I call a wand sheath, and it allows me to have my hand free while wielding a wand.
That's impressive.
So, could I use your wand? Like, if I took your wand, could I do it?
No, I don't believe.
No.
Are you guessing, or is that actually not? Is that I genuinely can't? That's not how it works.
You can't.
Okay. I wanted the Donnie answer. I was like, Donnie,
No,
can
that's a class feature.
You don't know. I mean, maybe give it to him, see if he could do it.
Let
You
me see
don't
that
know.
thing. Let me see it.
It's already in the sheath and it doesn't really come out easily. It's best to just leave it there.
So I think we're ready to go to the Feywild, yes?
I want to talk about sheaths more.
I know.
Firearms.
I'm aware.
They're off.
Is that your inspiring speech?
Yeah.
They're off, and Louvre will walk in. So you're going to the Feywild.
Looks to be the case.
Okay. I don't have any wisdom or guidance to impart other than I hope you know what you're doing.
I would say
We know
about
enough.
as much as we know what we're doing through this forest.
I mean, well, through this forest, you've got Louvre, you've got myself to guide you around and keep you safe. Feywild, it's untamed for all magic. I mean, I'm sure there would be plenty of riches there and stuff you could bring back to make quite a name for yourself. If you
No,
come
I'm with
back.
that guy. I think maybe the scary warning. I think we should listen to that.
I've never had any intention of going. I mean, I thought this portal was long sealed, and uh, seeing it open, I still have no desire.
Just
I've been
more
tasked.
reason to
Did the-
go. What if that seal closes up and this is our last chance?
What if that seal closes while we're in there?
Well, then I guess we'll be
Mhm.
down there longer than we thought.
Are we really going down there?
Think of the history.
Oh God.
Think of the chaos.
So, yeah, why are we going in other than the history and because we can?
I think Fenton is pulling weird there for some quest of theirs for some connection.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really tell me why they wanted me to go. They just kind of showed me that there was a portal and asked me if I could see the Feywild like they did. But I haven't seen Fenny since we've kind of been around here. Maybe they already went there. I don't know what he wants to show us.
The artifacts that are hidden in this elven ruin, of course.
But like you did mention that this, if the Feywild is a representation of our material plane and just on its head, we also have to be aware that we may not be entering somewhere that is vacant on the other side. We might be showing up in someone's home on the other side.
Ah, we could ask the owners themselves. Maybe they can see into the physical plane and give us answers about what these cultists have been up to. More ifs. We'll never know if we don't go.
Arcturus, what do you think?
I did promise Weird that I would go to the Feywild with them. So
Him-
if they go, I'd probably go.
Maybe Eric's there.
Oh, he's back at Baldur's Gate. I think we're at Baldur's Gate, right? That's where I took him.
Amphail.
FL.
Baldur's Gate is like maybe a few weeks out.
Nope, I took him. I took him to Amphail. He's not in there.
Of course.
But that will be to say I don't. If most of us are going, I think we all go to make sure that we all get back in one piece.
Yeah, I'll go. It's fine. I just need to talk to these guys real quick. The guys that are living here.
Okay. Now I'll go ahead and start packing up my bag and begin to prepare for an adventure.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well, if that is your wish, we'll do our best to keep this forest a safe place for your return. And best wishes on your travel. Sorry, what was your name?
Red.
Red. You said you wanted to speak with us.
Yeah, I got a buddy, Eric, back at Anfail. He is currently being held by the religious people. They're going to resurrect him, but I got to pay him. So they're holding on to him. I don't know when we're getting back, to be honest. If a certain amount of time that you feel has been long enough, could you go check on him? Make sure he's still down there. If you feel pity and get him resurrected, I'll owe you big time. I don't know what that means. Pretty much, I'm basically just asking for a handout. Could you please be nice and check on him if I'm not back in time? Because I'm probably gonna die. Let's just be honest. All right. I'll see you later, bud. Please. Love you. All right.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. But yeah, I'll need to get some horns kind of shaped and ready for Criven regardless. So I'll be there periodically. I'll be sure to check in on Eric. You said that was their name. And just make sure that they're kept on ice. Is that what you, or
I don't
just-
know how they're doing it. To be honest, didn't really make sense to me. But they said I could bring the money to them. Not gonna lie, they didn't really tell me how long I had, or if there even was a time limit. I kind of ran out to get back to the team, to be honest. But they said they'd hold on to him.
Alrighty. Well, then yeah, as long as they're willing to hold them, I'm willing to check on it for you. If things change, I'll be sure to let you know when you return.
Okay.
All right. Any other wishes or family members you want me to check on in your foreseeable absence? As he looks to the group.
No.
Loved ones.
I'd like
Nothing.
to write a letter if you wouldn't mind having it sent.
Sure thing. We can see to that. Where to?
To my sister in Baldur's Gate.
We can make it happen. Just yeah, give me that information when you're done writing it, and I'll be sure she gets it.
Or Daggerford, if that's easier for the rest of my family.
It's a little bit closer, but we'll send the courier either way. Let's see what goes on there. All right. Well, I said this to Axel already, but on behalf of Louvre and myself, we're very thankful and very blessed that you guys showed up when you did. I don't want to know what would have happened if Seer got what he wanted out of this whole ordeal, but that's not a future that we have to worry about. If I can be of any assistance to you, let me know. You're always welcome here when you come back. And we'll always keep an eye and eat justice for Louvre and an ear.
I did notice that as we were traversing this forest, we didn't have Louvre with us. We kind of ran into a lot of trouble. Is that something like a deterrent that you all have set up, or is that just kind of how the forest is?
That's just kind of the nature of the forest. Sometimes it gets a little out of hand, and maybe now that I know that there is a Fey portal here, maybe we can do something about that. I probably won't do anything, until you guys come back. But no, yeah, I'm formerly, me and Rogar were kind of a force to keep it in check, in line, to make sure that it didn't spread too far, and it was as safe as it could be. Unfortunately, when you showed up, I was a little indisposed.
Hmm. Yeah, I was hoping you could give us like some sort of a key to the forest. If we come back and you're not around, I don't want to just instantly get murdered by a mound or a tree or a sparrow or worms.
No, if I knew how to do that, then my time here would be a lot more simple.
Hmm.
But maybe we'll get there one day.
Well, worth a try.
I'm sorry, but good thinking either way. Well, you're always welcome here, and like I said, if you need anything else, let me know. We'll be around to see you off if you're jumping in that little pool out there. Please have at it.
Hey, Erie, you got tinkering tools?
What you call me?
Irie, whatever, robot.
Yeah, I got tinkering tools.
All right, cool. Can I borrow those for the till we leave?
You want to borrow my tools?
Yeah, I need to make some more rounds. You took 3 of them, and I shot a bunch today, so I got to kind of put some more together. I'm proficient in them. I know how to use them. I just didn't have my travel set ready to go, so I left them back at the cave.
I don't actually have. I forgot my tinkering tools back at my estate.
So you
Sorry.
have them, but don't have them on you, is what you're saying.
I actually don't have tinkering tools. I have proficiency. I can create tinkering tools. It
How
takes an
long will
hour.
that take?
It takes an hour to create them.
Well, we are napping, so
Now, I pull out my screwdriver. I could probably try my hand at crafting some of these. I don't know. And my all-purpose tool can turn into tinkering tools with an action as opposed to an hour. And it's a handheld multi-tool device. And I'm flipping through. I can tinker with these
Sure.
tools.
I will show you the crude method that I have been taught, and see if you can try your hand at it, I guess. Does he need to roll anything? I haven't really been asking how many of these I can carry.
I just looked up.
It might not be the best for a short rest.
Say because of this, I mean, it definitely would be a tinkering check. I'd say, I mean, you would definitely have enough raw materials from kind of the weapons and armors you found to make at least 3 bullets. If you,
Oh, I need more than
My
3
question
bullets.
is, does it create a magic bullet out of thin air, or does it just to like teleport the bullet?
That infusion can do that. Yeah, it.
So that might be your
Oh.
other benefit to the
I don't-
infusion.
I don't know that
creates
infusion. I gotta level up to learn that to replace one of my current infusions.
Yeah.
Just
so
teasing you.
What a
another thing
tease.
the artificer can't do.
Look what I could do if I leveled up that way.
How dare
Now
you?
I have like a bandolier of these things that I've made, but like usually in downtime, if I've shot some, I try to like refill them.
But crafting
So
some
if I
like stone balls,
It's basically just I give you some of my gunpowder that
Iron
I carry
balls.
like 3 bags, and then
and I don't
have
even know. I've
a
got
wad
smith
and-
tools. That might be better than tinker tools, to be honest.
I'm proficient in tinker tools.
that's what I use to do.
Yeah,
So it would be a tinker check to make these. You would need the raw materials for it. So I'll say using the raw materials you have from the armories and the bodies and stuff around. Go ahead
Is
and
Dragonbone
roll
hard?
a check.
I make dragon bone balls.
You could make dragon bone balls.
Dragon balls.
Dragon balls. You could
See?
make dragon balls.
Come back and collect them all.
Yeah.
So I'll look into it more before
dragon
next
bones.
session or next time. But yeah, for now, if you want to use the raw materials available, roll a tinkering check, or if you want to have Ira do it, roll a tinkering check.
I don't think I can borrow his arm.
Yeah, I say it would normally be a disadvantage check, but since you're helping, I'll say it's with advantage. So Ira can roll a straight tinkering check if you want to kind of guide them to make some bullets, and depending on how
do
well
have-
you do, that's how many bullets you can make.
I do
Is
have
it disadvantage
expertise.
because he's doesn't know the method, or is there a reason?
Correct. Yeah, disadvantage because they've never made bullets before. But since you're guiding them, then that just kind of negates it in this instance. In the future, once they're more comfortable and you're still guiding them, then it might, it'd be advantage at that point. But for this instance, I'd say it's a straight roll since it's completely new to the robot.
Do you want that to be intelligence?
Intelligence. I'd say more dexterity. Since Red would be providing the intelligence for it, so
Oh,
this
no.
one would just be physically making it.
All right. So I'll roll this with my tinkering tool of expertise. That will be. What's our expertise at? 3? That's 17. 20. And was that with disadvantage?
It was
No,
flat roll.
straight roll.
So 20 flat roll.
20. With this one, Ira, you are, or not Ira, Ira, you are able to make 5 musket bullets with everything around, and Red provided the gunpowder. That's the kind of the one thing that's not readily available. But as everyone except for you and Cormer saw, Red had some type of gunpowder when they threw it inside of a air elemental and lit it on fire. So you've got enough of that on your person to make some more. So at least 5 bullets right
That
now.
needs to be something that Cormier learns very quickly because lightning. just
Lightning
come,
Artillery.
just come bust.
Red just
Well, the problem with that is when we're out and about, I would not be willing to just toss my gunpowder like that. The only reason I was willing to do it back at the fight is because we were fighting in a city. I can go pick up some more. But we're out in the wilderness. This shit's precious.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
would-
saying. If it's on you though, and I hit you with a lightning bolt, it's not going to be pretty for you
Oh, true.
because they just
Yeah, I
come
do
Should buy you a
bust.
couple rounds.
Yeah, or if I hit you with a fireball.
Right.
Well, if I hit you with a flamethrower,
Also true. You're just very flammable, is what I'm saying.
Or if Weird decides to eat it.
Oh,
True.
Well-
You never know what their taste buds might try.
why is this so spicy?
Ira and Cormier, or I guess more I. Oh no, do you have a nose that works, Ira?
no what?
A nose that works.
Do I have a nose that works?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
of course I do.
All right.
All my
perfect.
senses are fully functioning
Oh,
magically.
right.
Given that you fed us mayonnaise earlier, I thought maybe.
Maybe your taste didn't work correctly.
Taste buds-
It says
It's a fake tongue.
Yeah, well,
it says I don't have to eat, not that I can't eat.
well, just because you eat doesn't mean you can taste. There's a very big difference.
It doesn't say anything about taste.
Gotcha. Well, with the smell as you're working with it, there was something kind of smells similar to this down in those dwarven ruins. Specifically, kind of like where this automaton was found. In those more experimental, forging areas.
The gunpowder?
The gun, yeah. There's some gunpowder down there.
Ooh, piece of gunpowder.
Ooh.
Oops, candy.
Are my
Is this-
joints actually like engine
Pistons.
pistons
That's
in
right.
there? I've actually got some gunpowder.
I'd say
That'd be
not
kinda cool.
not that I was thinking of. More
That
of
would be
like
the
I was
loudest
wondering what the
Loudest
smog
resistance.
releasing from me
Could
was.
you
Just like a
imagine
car.
just also the like disadvantage on stealth checks as you're just chugging along
You
through
know,
this dungeon?
Disadvantages and stack.
smell?
What do you mean? He's literally a walking combustion engine. If that was the case.
It's got a heart of gold, though.
True.
Oh my gosh.
Where did you
Uh,
find this?
Well,
Black
this
powder.
specific batch is homemade. We have some sulfur down in the Underdark, and then we can. There's certain locations where I can get the materials to make this. My master taught me all that stuff. Didn't go to school. Was taught a lot about guns, though.
Interesting.
and
You're
how
a
to murder.
master in the underworld. Underdark.
Dark.
The underworld.
The
I'm,
underworld.
I'm not the
Uh,
devil.
Vampire.
I could swear I've smelled this before. Huh.
Did you say I also recognized it?
If you were around
I was
Ira,
at the camp. I don't know if Ira was making these bullets at like our makeshift camp.
yeah. I mean, if you guys were around doing it there, then yeah, you would recognize that as well.
Maybe in the fountain so I can submerge the bullets to cool them.
Of course,
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah, there's definitely a familiar smell in the air. If you would have gone to investigate to see what Ira was doing, then yeah, you're more than welcome to chime in or add your 2 cents.
No, I just want to smell.
All right, yeah. You definitely smell the sulfur in the air.
Before we head out, I do want to take a second because I believe I heard a voice relatively recently talk to me and ask me some questions.
Correct.
And unsure exactly how that magic works, I will go ahead and sit there looking at the fountain and just sort of think in a capacity to try to reach them. Obviously, I don't know how the spell works or what sort of spell they were casting or how they were communicating with me, and I was able to communicate back. But I will just let them know. Going to investigate something that may help our research with the automaton.
You wait a few moments as you feel a gentle breeze start to pick up some of the smoke or the fog, surrounding the stronghold. Begins to just kind of push around and less stagnant. But no response comes your way.
Does anyone want to take the lead on this adventure to this other plane?
Oh, I'm a backliner.
I'll go in front.
As
Alrighty.
will I. Together. Into the unknown.
Into the unknown.
We probably should wait too long between people. We don't know how time works there.
Let's all hold hands.
It's actually not a bad idea for
Decent
us to
idea.
go simultaneously.
Into the unknown.
So we all
Alrighty.
walking in, we just jumping in, hoping that we.
Can we all swim in case the portal doesn't work? That's a good question. Because there is water, as I understand, that we've got to get through.
It's just a fountain too, right? Like it's not very deep.
So there are
30 feet deep.
several reflecting pools that are like maybe 5 foot in diameter that are kind of spread out around the central garden. But the main one was probably maybe 15 feet, so 3 times the size. This is the one where Arcturus had their magical eyes up as they dropped a pebble with what looked to be maybe a 10-15 foot deep pool. The rock kind of continued to sink through this portal, so it definitely seems to extend beyond this shallow pool.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Let's do it.
All right. With Louvre and Daroth standing off to the side, Weird will be one of the first ones to kind of jump in. You guys sticking as close as you can, one after another, just kind of jump in here. Red, you kind of waterproof or maybe even put your stuff in the magical chest as best you can to try to keep your gunpowder and anything that might be waterlogged, safe as you continue through this. But the party jumps in, and it's an easy sink as you descend. 5, 10, 20, 40, 50 feet now, as it almost
I forgot
seems
to
like
breathe.
you've got all 5 senses. Does that include? Actually, no. Warforged don't need to breathe, do
Nope.
they?
I don't need to breathe.
Oh.
No. I could live in a bag of holding.
Duly noted.
I could be a Dow genie or a genie warlock without the
Without the warlock.
without the patron. Bag of holding is my battle.
No, but as you guys begin to descend into this pool, the air bubbles, instead of going now straight up, kind of start to go off in little random directions as you dive deeper and deeper. The water, as you look around, is no longer confined to this little 15-foot diameter. However, now you seem to be in some type of small lake as far as the eyes can see. Continuing to swim down, up, you're not really sure which direction is what at this point. You begin to try to orientate yourself in what feels right, following the whatever innate sense of security you have that keeps you grounded. However, now you do see what seems to be a light coming from above you, which is not the little circle light that you are used to, but and now it takes up your entire field of view. It's now been maybe 2-3 minutes of holding your breath, swimming, as you begin to swim your way up to the surface.
Everyone needs to hold their breath for 2 to 3 minutes, and if you fail, you have to roll a check.
I was just say, like, is there a reason I'm not dead?
2 to 3 minutes? You don't think
I
you hold
should
your
be
breath for 2 to
dead.
3 minutes?
No, I'd be dead,
Let's find
100%.
out.
No, I know for a fact I'd be. I know I have.
I think
done
there's
this.
a book. There's stats for this in the book. I think.
We don't need the book.
Who are you?
They got
What
roll
happened?
rules.
Well, hold on. Who are you? What happened to Donnie?
Hold on.
It seems a little crunchy. I'm not.
Who are you? Yeah, a creature can hold its breath for a minute. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Take it.
No, you got it. No, you got it.
1 plus
No,
its
no, no.
Constitution modifier.
Oh,
All right.
that's not
So-
bad.
Minutes.
What is so? It's about 3 minutes is what you've been going to as you're now making its way towards the surface. What is everyone Constitution modifier?
2. Cormier can hold his breath for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I read it
He's
doesn't
got
matter.
2.
I can hold my breath for 4.
You're insane.
You got 16 Constitution. I guess you're a fighter.
Yeah.
You don't need those other.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a check here.
Alrighty. So what's the check?
It's no check. You just.
It's just good. And then after that
You just
time, when you
die.
run out of breath or choking, it can survive for a number of rounds equal to its Constitution modifier.
Cool.
Oh, boy, that's seconds.
Cool.
That's
Alrighty.
0.
I'll breathe into your
So
mouth.
we'll say, Arturus, as you're getting towards the end of your breath, you guys start to reach the surface. So it wouldn't be.
Axel would pull me up anyway.
Dude, what's actually insane is like, okay,
I've
so
been clutching Axel's hand this whole time.
A
He knows
cre-
how scared I am.
for an example that they give, it's like a creature with Constitution 14 can hold its breath for 3 minutes. If it starts suffocating after that 3 minutes, it has 2 rounds to reach air before dropping to 0 HP and begin to dying and suffocating.
So you gotta save those.
Yeah.
So I will say we are at that point as you get to the surface. You are holding Axel's hand, but it is more or less to kind of actually help them along, as their heavy armor seems to slow them down a little bit during this. But you're able to keep them up to snuff. As you get to the surface, I'll say Red. You've got the highest dexterity. You've probably got
That's
the
offensive.
Actually, no, it's all about swim speed, and you've got
What about
short
gravity?
legs and arms.
Seems like it's an athletics check, honestly.
We'll just say, Cormier, you're the first one.
Let's
Swimming
go.
is definitely. I was gonna say swimming is definitely athletic.
I got a plus.
Yeah, I'll say you're able to get here without any athletics. You can definitely tell that Arturus is starting to struggle. As you get to the surface, closer and closer, you feel a biting cold take over you as this water is near freezing. You get to the surface and you cannot break through. It
Oh.
is solid right above you.
Oh,
Anywhere you feel around, there's almost nothing going through. you see the group come up behind you, making their way as Arturus, face redder than it normally is pulling up Axel as they're coming up along. What would you guys like to do?
So
Can I cast Acid Splash just like point blank into the?
Does that have verbal component?
Does it have a verbal component?
I have a solution if it doesn't, or if it does.
You know what? It sure as heck does. I can talk underwater. I can't be heard, but I can talk underwater. You've heard people. You've heard people
Okay.
talk underwater. You know this happens.
You figure that out. Let me give you my solution while he's doing that one. So I have.
Shape the water.
Oh yeah.
I usually say
that's facts.
That verbal
yeah.
components?
I usually my bag. I have 3 bags of gunpowder. One's gone because we opened it. The rest are still sealed by wax, and so are the bullets. I could still fire that.
Okay, in a panic, I'm definitely just casting shape water just to try and make
I'm
a
also going to
5-foot cube.
straight up.
But I don't know. I don't know
what.
what's above us. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna just create a vacuum. I don't know what's gonna go happen here, but I'm gonna try it.
Fortunately,
Alright.
flamethrower's been destroyed.
Yes.
Past my hour.
I also just don't believe in fire. So
Cormier,
Got real
as
hot.
you begin to cast Acid Splash, you do the verbal components. However, water starts to fill your lungs
It's
as
fine.
you begin drowning at that point, unless you have some type of way to breathe underwater. But the spell does go off, but you feel any further attempts to speak magic will just be impossible, as now you are completely waterlogged, struggling to breathe. The Acid Splash does go up, make impact, but it seems to kind of dissipate and maybe kind of scratch the surface.
Now our pH levels are lower.
you're welcome.
Red, you go ahead and make a
Blast.
shot. Go ahead and just roll damage. Easy to hit.
Where is it? There it is.
So initiative against this ice ball.
Facts.
I mean, can I say that sharpshooter was active?
Yeah, sure thing.
So 24 damage.
24 damage. You do blast a nice hole. It's probably about maybe 6 inches wide at most, as the bullet is able to penetrate all of its way through. So someone could get a breath in if needed. However, all of the ice around it starts to just melt as a 5. I'll probably say maybe 10-foot square starts to dissipate. As you see Arturus, or air bubbles really come up from Arturus behind you. As they have 6 seconds to get out of the water. You're able to swim, claw your way up. Axel, as you guys get to the surface, Arturus does not. They're not able to pull themselves up easily. They begin to almost sink down before you're able to reach out your hand, kind of land one arm up on the ice as you, with all your strength, with your halberds on your back and all, pull Arturus up and kind of roll them
Damn
out.
halberds.
This
we
means
leave
I
those?
go to 0 hit points, right?
You're at least unconscious.
Does it say you go
I
to
think
0?
when you read
Yeah.
the rule, it said
Yeah,
that
you
go
drop
to 0
after
hit
that
points.
time. You drop to 0 hit points and begin to
Drop to 0.
dying.
All right. So I will say, yeah, you do drop to 0 hit points, but because you were able to at least make it out and sustain within the same round, no death saving throws are needed. I'll say you are completely it's not sustained. The word I'm thinking of, yeah, stabilized. You are stabilized. As you guys kind of scramble to get everyone out of the freezing sub-zero water. You look around at what looks like some type of, I think it's like called an oxbow or like a horseshoe shaped lake. Now in this frozen, frigid area. No fog is taking over this forest like it was before. However, you are in maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow. All of the trees around have not your normal like kind of dead branches that you're looking at, but they have almost like perfectly spherical snowballs that kind of make up what looks like leaves almost throughout this entire forest. You guys are taking a look around. As far as you can see, you're still in a forest, no structures, no stronghold, nothing but a frozen lake, snowy trees, and a biting winter's breeze. With that, we'll go ahead and end this session and pick up there next time.
Guys, I
There
don't
goes
think
the-
we're in Kansas anymore.
Whew.
Go to the
There's the
Feywild.
reverse
they said,
castle
The
theory.
artifacts, they said.
Cool stuff in the Feywild.
Go to the
Oh.
Feywild and end up in a different plane of existence.
Who'd think we'd ever use the breathing underwater rules?
All right,
Dude, I thought about taking breathe underwater. I was like, man, that's never going to come up. And then I realized I could do that and live underwater forever and just cast spells down there.
Right. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, maybe they might try to, punch, break some stuff. Might take a few rounds, and then we'll see what happens after that. But no, shape water. Get that cantrip, boys and girls. It's a good one.
I also love how I
Almost.
immediately went to check what the world said about casting spells, and it was pretty much exactly what you wrote because of good old Jeremy E. Crawford.
Oh yeah, we always look to our God King Jeremy Crawford to.
Blessed be.
What do you say? You
Official
can,
ruling.
you can cast underwater?
He said you can, but you pretty much you instantly begin drowning.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say at least shave off a minute.
No, yeah,
That's
it's
like-
it's
that's
all
your
gone
air.
because you're expelling all that air out. So I was here for it, but he's like, obviously, then it doesn't matter if you breathe underwater, or if you're Warforged where you don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I was just gonna cast Sword Burst or whatever on the ice, which is force damage. That might have been pretty good.
Get away from me!
And just shatter it all.
Just carve a hole
Yeah.
in that ice.
Oh yeah, didn't thematically you pulled out a chainsaw last session?
A circular saw.
Yeah. Start ice carving.
Oh, yeah. No. Now you guys find yourself in a
Frozen
crazy-looking
tundra.
winter wonderland. Frozen tundra, winter wonderland. Same.
I'm excited to find out if the cold is too cold.
Cold rules.
I love
We
environmental
will see.
rules.
I lost
It's
a
everybody's
powder.
favorite.
I'm upset.
I'm having flashbacks of Starfinder.
Yeah. Being on that frozen planet, it was a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Radiation,
I love
everything.
Hoth. Yeah, no radiation. I can guarantee you that.
What do you mean?
Probably no radiation.
Yeah. It's just all Feywild magic instead.
That's just acid damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got to do with Fey magic.
That's worse than acid rain. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Really do appreciate it. This has been another episode of We Run the Dungeon. We will see you guys next week for another episode as we